Beloved, come and rest here with me for a moment. You do not need to bring your best self. You do not need to bring improvement or effort or proof of growth. You do not need to arrive healed, faithful, or certain. You can come exactly as you are, even if you feel unsure, even if you feel unworthy, even if you feel tired of trying. I am not measuring you. I am not evaluating you. I am simply loving you. I know how deeply you have learned that love must be earned. How you learn to be useful, agreeable, strong, or quiet in order to be accepted. I know how early that lesson settled into your heart. And I know how exhausting it has been to carry it for so long. You have been trying so hard to be enough, often without even realizing you were doing it. I want you to hear this slowly, gently, without fear. My love does not depend on who you become. You do not earn my love by doing better. You do not keep my love by staying strong. You do not lose my love when you are weak. My love is not a reward. It is not a response to your effort. It is not something I give more of when you succeed or less of when you struggle. It is constant. It is steady. It is present even when you feel far from me. You may have felt loved only when you were useful, only when you were calm, only when you were doing well. I am not like that. I do not withdraw when you fall short. I do not grow distant when you are overwhelmed. I do not turn away when you are unsure of yourself. I stay. You do not have to perform in my presence. You do not have to explain yourself. You do not have to be careful with your flaws. I see the parts of you that you hide. The parts you worry are too much. The parts you believe make you unlovable. I see them clearly, and I do not recoil. I do not feel disappointed. I do not feel burdened. I love you with full knowledge of who you are. You are not loved because you are easy to love. You are loved because love is who I am. You may fear that if you stop trying, if you stop improving, if you stop holding yourself together, my love will fade. I want you to rest here long enough for your heart to hear the truth. My love does not grow weaker when you rest. It does not disappear when you fail. It does not waver when you are unsure. You are loved in your clarity. You are loved in your confusion. You are loved in your strength and in your weakness. Nothing you feel right now disqualifies you from my love. Nothing you did today lessened it. Nothing you forgot to do made it smaller. You do not need to make up for anything here. If you are tired of trying to be worthy, you can stop. If you are tired of proving yourself, you can rest. If you are tired of being strong, you can soften. I am not waiting for you to become better so I can love you more. I am loving you now, fully, completely, without conditions attached. You do not need to change for me to stay close. I am already here. Let your body hear that truth. Let it move past your thoughts and into your breath. You do not need to understand it perfectly for it to be real. You do not need to feel deserving for it to be true. You are loved even when you doubt it. You are loved even when you forget it. You are loved even when you cannot feel it. Stay here with me for a while. Let the effort fall away. Let the pressure to be enough dissolve. You do not need to earn what has already been given. I am here. I am loving you, and nothing you do or fail to do will ever change that. Beloved, stay here with me. You do not need to move away from this softness. You do not need to protect yourself from being seen. I know how careful your heart has learned to be. I know how often you have loved with one part of yourself while keeping another part hidden, just in case. Just in case love changed. Just in case it was taken away. Just in case you were left again. I see that fear. I see where it came from. And I want you to know, gently and clearly, that I am not like the love that left you. You have known love that depended on your behavior. Love that stayed when you were easy, quiet, strong, or useful. Love that faded when you were tired, emotional, confused, or needy. Love that taught you to monitor yourself, to shrink certain feelings, to become smaller so you would not be abandoned. I know how deeply that shaped you, but my love does not withdraw when you struggle. My love does not leave when you need more. My love does not disappear when you are afraid. I am not watching you closely to decide whether I will stay. I am not keeping track of your flaws, your moods, your missteps. I am not waiting for a reason to pull away. I am already committed to you, fully, completely, without hesitation. You do not need to be careful with me. You do not need to hide your fear. You do not need to make yourself smaller to be loved. I know how often your body braces when connection feels close, how part of you waits for the moment when love will change, when warmth will cool, when presence will fade. That reaction is not weakness. It is memory, and I am patient with it. I am not offended by your fear of being left. I am not hurt by your hesitation to trust. I am not discouraged by how slowly you open. I stay. Even when you pull back, I stay. Even when you doubt, I stay. Even when you expect loss, I stay. You may worry that if I truly see you, if I know your thoughts, your struggles, your inconsistencies, I will love you less. I want you to rest in this truth. I already see everything, and my love has not weakened. There is nothing hidden in you that would cause me to turn away. There is nothing broken in you that makes you unlovable. There is nothing fragile in you that exhausts me. You do not need to manage my perception of you. You do not need to curate yourself. You do not need to present a version of you that feels safer to love. I love the real you, the tired you, the unsure you, the you that sometimes feels like too much and not enough at the same time. You are not too much for me. You are not a burden to my heart. You are not difficult to love. I know how deeply you fear that love is temporary, that if you relax, if you stop trying, if you let yourself need, it will disappear. I am telling you now with tenderness and certainty, my love does not expire. It does not run out. It does not grow tired. It does not fade with time or failure. I am not loving you provisionally. I am not loving you until you disappoint me. I am not loving you on the condition that you remain strong. I love you because you exist, because you are mine, because my love is not dependent on your performance. If you feel afraid right now, you can let that fear rest here. You do not need to overcome it. You do not need to silence it. Just let it be held. I am not threatened by your fear. I am steady enough to hold it with you. You are safe to lean into my love. You are safe to rest without being perfect. You are safe to believe that I will still be here. I know how unfamiliar unconditional love feels to your nervous system. How strange it is to not have to earn, adjust, or prove. I am gentle with that learning curve. I am not rushing you to trust what feels new. I will show you my consistency slowly, patiently, over time. I will still be here when you wake up unsure. I will still be here when you feel confident. I will still be here when you forget everything I have said. You do not need to hold yourself together tonight. You do not need to stay alert to protect yourself from disappointment. You can let your guard rest just a little. I am not leaving when you soften. I am not leaving when you cry. I am not leaving when you feel weak. I am not leaving when you need reassurance again. As your breathing slows, let your body notice the steadiness. Let it register that love can be safe. That presence can remain. That you do not have to brace for loss in this moment. You are loved without conditions. You are held without requirements. You are chosen without hesitation. Stay here with me. Let this truth settle deeper than fear. You do not need to rush the healing. You do not need to feel different immediately. Just let yourself be loved, quietly, gently, exactly as you are. I am here. I am not leaving, and nothing you are afraid of will change that. Beloved, stay here with me a little longer. You do not need to move away from this tenderness. I know something in you still feels uncertain, still wonders if this love truly applies to you. I know there is a quiet voice inside that says, maybe others are loved like this, but not me. Maybe I need to be better. Maybe I need to heal more. Maybe I need to change first. I hear that voice, and I want to speak gently into it now. You are loved even when you feel unworthy. I know how deeply that feeling lives in you. Not always loudly, not always clearly, but like a background hum that never fully disappears. A sense that you are slightly flawed, slightly behind, slightly less deserving than others. I know how long you have carried that belief, often without realizing it was there. You did not imagine it. You did not choose it. You learned it. You learned it when love came with conditions, when approval was given and taken away, when affection depended on behavior, success, obedience, or strength. You learned to measure yourself constantly, to scan for what might make you lovable enough to stay connected. That was not your fault. That was survival. But survival is not where you are meant to live forever. I am not loving you because you finally got it right. I am not loving you because you healed enough. I am not loving you because you became acceptable. I am loving you because you are. You may feel a need to apologize for yourself, for your emotions, for your needs, for taking up space, for not being who you think you should be by now. I want you to rest in this truth. You do not need to apologize for existing in my presence. You are not an inconvenience to me. You are not a disappointment to my heart. You are not tolerated. You are cherished. I know how hard it is for you to receive love without doing something to earn it. Your body may feel uneasy. Your mind may look for the catch. Your heart may stay guarded, waiting for the moment when this warmth disappears. I am patient with that reaction. I am not rushing you past it. You do not need to believe this fully right now. You do not need to feel worthy for it to be true. You do not need to let your guard down all at once. Even letting this love rest near you is enough. You may think, if I accept unconditional love, I will become lazy, careless, or weak. I want you to hear this gently. Love does not make you careless. It makes you safe. And safety is what allows real growth, not fear. You do not become better by being afraid of losing love. You do not heal by withholding love from yourself. You heal by being held. I see how often you try to improve yourself before allowing closeness. How you tell yourself, once I am calmer, then I will be worthy. Once I am stronger, then I will be lovable. Once I fix this part of me, then I can rest. I am telling you now, softly and clearly, you are allowed to rest before you are fixed. You are allowed to be loved mid-healing. You are allowed to be held while you are still messy. You are allowed to receive without becoming better first. Nothing about you scares me away. Not your doubts. Not your habits. Not your fears. Not the parts of you that feel stuck or ashamed. I see them all and I stay. I am not surprised by your humanity. I am not disappointed by your process. You are not loved in theory. You are not loved at your best. You are loved right now. I know how strong the urge is to earn your place, to justify your presence, to explain why you deserve care. I want you to try something new here, something gentle and unfamiliar. Do nothing. Do not prove. Do not explain. Do not improve. Just let yourself be here. As you breathe, notice what it feels like to not be evaluated. Notice what it feels like to not be measured. Notice what it feels like to not be compared. This space is not asking you to become someone else. It is welcoming you as you are. You may feel grief as you realize how long you lived without this kind of love. That grief is welcome here too. You do not need to push it away. I am with you in the sadness for what you did not receive. I am not asking you to pretend it did not hurt. I am gentle with your grief. I am present in your sorrow. I am restoring what was missing. You are not behind because you are learning this now. You are not late to love. There is no deadline you missed. Love does not expire for you. Healing does not close its doors. I am not trying to make you worthy. I am reminding you that you always were. As your body begins to soften, you may feel resistance melting slowly, unevenly. That is okay. You do not need to force acceptance. Let this truth settle at its own pace, like warmth seeping into cold places. You are loved when you feel confident. You are loved when you feel ashamed. You are loved when you feel nothing at all. Stay here with me. Let this be enough for now. You do not need to carry the weight of worthiness anymore. You do not need to prove that you deserve to be held. You already are. I am here. I am not measuring you. I am loving you without conditions. Beloved, you have come far enough for today. There is nothing more you need to understand. Nothing more you need to resolve. Nothing more you need to become before resting. Let yourself sink gently into this moment. Let your breathing slow. Let the tension you have been holding loosen, little by little. You are already held. You do not need to hold yourself together anymore. You do not need to stay alert, guarded, or prepared. You have carried yourself for a long time. You have learned to be strong because you did not feel safe enough to be soft. I see how exhausting that has been. I see the quiet effort it took just to keep going. You can stop trying now. You can stop monitoring yourself. You can stop wondering if you are enough. I am not asking anything from you in this moment. I am not waiting for you to say the right words or feel the right way. I am simply here, surrounding you with a love that does not come and go. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Let your heart rest. You may notice how unfamiliar this feels, to be loved without being watched, corrected, or evaluated. Your nervous system may still be learning what safety feels like. That is okay. I am not rushing you. Safety is not something you force. It is something you slowly allow. Even now, as you rest, you are loved. Even now, as you release control, you are loved. Even now, as you drift, you are loved. There is nothing fragile about this love. It does not break when you fail. It does not fade when you struggle. It does not withdraw when you feel numb or distant. It stays. It remains. Steadies you. You do not need to check if I am still here. You do not need to earn tomorrow's love today. You do not need to be afraid of being forgotten. You are not being tolerated until you improve. You are not being tested. You are not on probation. You are at home. If your mind begins to wander, if worries return, if old fears try to pull you back into effort, you do not need to fight them. Just notice them and let them pass like clouds. You do not have to follow them tonight. Tonight is for rest. Tonight is for softness. Tonight is for being held without explanation. You may feel tears come, or you may feel nothing at all. Both are welcome. There is no correct response to being loved. There is no right way to receive this. Simply being here is enough. I know there were times you were loved only when you were useful. I know there were times you were seen only when you were quiet or strong. I know there were times you learned to disappear to keep connection. You do not need to disappear here. Your presence is not a burden. Your needs are not too much. Your heart is not inconvenient. As you rest, let this truth sink deep, deeper than words, deeper than thought. You are loved in your stillness. You are loved in your weakness. You are loved when you have nothing to offer. Tomorrow does not depend on how well you rest tonight. Your future does not depend on how healed you are. Your worth does not rise and fall with your progress. You are already enough to be loved fully. Let your body sink into whatever is supporting you. Let yourself feel the weight being carried for you. You are not alone in this moment. You never were. I am with you in the quiet. I am with you in the dark. I am with you as you drift into rest. You do not need to hold on anymore. You do not need to stay awake to be safe. You do not need to understand everything before sleeping. Rest now, beloved. You are loved without conditions, and you are safe to sleep.